Have you ever felt inspired to achieve new heights witnessing a great fictional representation of leadership, like Maverick in Top Gun or Captain America? This is an excellent place to take inspiration from. However, you should always be cognizant that the way good or bad leadership plays out won't always line up with its glorified fictional representations. To ensure that Hollywood misconceptions don't ensnare your mind, today we'll be discussing 5 leadership lessons with authentic or unrealistic examples. Number 1. Be a leader, not a manager. Movies have taught us that managers are inferior beings obsessed with mundane tasks. Think of The Office or Office Space. On the flip side, true leaders are evolved super beings that exhale vision, inspiration, and big picture thinking. The leader-manager dichotomy is a legitimate one, but what's often overlooked is that effective leadership and good management have a lot more alike than not. You might fairly expect a leader to inspire people, exert influence whether or not they have formal authority, and set a grand vision or mission. This will all be completely useless if they lack the management skills to also organize people and tasks, solve technical problems, and create a roadmap to get a vision. We often use leadership to refer to the cool, fun, or exciting parts of leadership, and often use management in a derogatory way to refer to the less cool version of the same thing. A team ideally needs someone to give it motivational speeches and keep track of the work in a spreadsheet with deadlines. This can be accomplished by assigning separate individuals whose skills and personalities favor one over the other, or by finding the rare gem of someone who could do both effectively at the same time. Every organization must have both to be successful, and you should have at least some of both if you aspire to leadership, or effective followership. Number 2. The best leaders never wanted to lead. As depicted by Katniss in The Hunger Games and Neo in The Matrix, you might be tempted to find that reluctant leaders are the best. This comes to us intuitively because humility is legitimately an important trait for leaders, and because some people are power hungry. However, wanting power and being power hungry are two different things. Mahatma Gandhi was elected to the Indian National Congress in 1915, and 30 years later successfully freed his nation from British colonial rule. That sounds pretty altruistic, and I doubt anyone would seriously accuse Gandhi of being a power-hungry sociopath. Yes, we must be cautious of granting power to sociopaths, but someone wanting power doesn't automatically mean they aim to abuse it. Power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely, is a cute saying, but flatly it's bullshit. Much like the super soldier serum made by Dr. Erskine in Captain America, it amplifies what's already there. The serum amplifies everything that's inside, so good becomes great, bad becomes worse. Additionally, research shows that the desire to lead is a larger indicator that someone will become a leader than their intelligence or their character. So, if we convince all of our people of sound character that wanting leadership's bad, all that's left are the Red Skulls, because no Captain America took the serum. Number 3. Humility and empathy are all that's needed. In the movie Hidden Figures, Katherine Johnson gets berated for being gone from her desk for extended periods of time by her boss at NASA. Unbeknownst to him, she was gone from her desk for 40 minutes at a time to use the bathroom, because she was black. And this movie takes place during segregation in the United States. This means she had to drive to another building to use the bathroom. After really listening to her and swallowing his pride, Al Harrison removes the Colorids only and non-Colorids signs from the office coffee pot and the bathrooms in the NASA building. This is a great example of humility and empathy making a team more effective. However, imagine that the empathy was shown by a peer rather than senior management. Then the 40 minutes per bathroom break loss in manpower would not have been resolved. This kind of ties back to the leadership versus management dichotomy. While it's great character to lead, follow, or work with to hear out your teammates, at the end of the day, informal influence is only one source of power, and formal authority is often needed to get a large team with conflicting viewpoints to move together. Number 4. If you have a great idea, keep pushing it despite resistance. In Moneyball, Billy Beane proves to be an effective leader by seeing that his broke team, with no money to pay good players, has to find some new and revolutionary way to acquire talent. Peter Brand works out to be the management that the team needs to purchase undervalued baseball players that could become a winning team. While this is an excellent example of ensuring the team has both leadership with vision and management with practical skills. However, the lead characters made very little effort to try to warm their formal management and recruitment teams to their approach. If you tried to replicate this practice in real life, you would end up with very limited buy-in from around the team, and leadership, in all likelihood, would shut you down. Instead, in real life, you generally want to gradually warm up anyone you expect to be resistant to your plan by bringing it up gently with crescendoing frequency and intensity. And at the same time, you'd want to find early adopters to create a coalition of the willing, and slowly expand that coalition with small wins until you reach a terminal mass that can get deep buy-in from formal authority. Number 5. Romanticizing the followed and the follower relationship. Remember, the Titans and Coach Carter may call to mind inspiring leadership. However, these demonstrate a student-teacher dynamic between the leader and the follower. This does exist in real life for actual teachers as well as parents, and sometimes the leader's so awe-inspiring they feel like a great teacher. However, the teacher-student dynamic is very different from an adult-to-adult relationship. If we imagine that the only true leaders are these magical pinnacles of humanity, then we're likely to infantilize ourselves and fail to advocate for ourselves or our teammates to leaders. This will lead to our leaders having less than ideal access to information, and then they'll make worse decisions, which will tie to them being bad leaders, when it may instead be that we were poor followers. Have more reasonable expectations for your leaders and realize you have to meet them partway. If you're the leader, be aware that your team could be expecting you to be a demigod and may struggle to lead up effectively as a result. Hollywood's great, and both Maverick and Steve Rogers are fantastic examples to follow. Just realize that real-world leadership is much slower, grindier, harder, and less sexy than anything we'll find in a movie. If you liked this video, consider subscribing or liking the video. And feel free to drop a comment with topics you'd like to see us cover in the future. You only have one life to live. Grow it relentlessly.